Hi, welcome to Shadowrun Dragonfall. We are on part 5 here. We've just made it to the Cruise Bazaar. Cruise Bazaar? Cruise Bazaar? The Cruise Bazaar, that's what we're calling it. Let me just full screen this so I can read it. I'm doing this after the event this time with bits sped up and cut out because I took forever kind of running around here in all sorts of directions. Let's get inside, says Glory. They'll come sometimes charity. Can't happen fast enough, love. The sooner we get in, the sooner I can get drunk. That's Dietrich. Anyway, running up here and you meet Paul Amsel, who is, as you'll see, you step inside the squalor of the disused U-Bahn tunnel, giving way to the warmth of the same house. Paul Amsel, something bad has happened, hasn't it? He steps forward, revealing a pale and expressionless face. He's your team's fixer and landlord. His eyes sweep across the team as he takes it all in. The grim faces, the hard stares, Iger's fury, Monica's absence. I had a feeling, how did she? So here you get to make some choices about what you want to say and how you want to say it. You can choose to be a hard ass, or you can choose to be soft. For the most part, I have tried to bond with the team. Iger, Dietrich and Glory are backing it up, but Iger here is accusing me of letting it happen. She's still convinced that it's my fault that Monica died. And I chose to ignore it, which as you'll see is not the best choice. See, by saying nothing. What, nothing to say about that rookie if I'd been in your place, etc, etc. Look, Iger, you weren't stuck in that basement with us. You don't know how things went down in there, so do us all a favour and shut it down, okay? So Dietrich and Glory are on my side, which is good. Shut it down. F that. I don't know why I don't want to swear. I respect you, Dietrich, you know that. Monica was good, she was the best, right? But she was also overconfident. She treated the job like it was a game. Do that long enough and you're going to get burned. If you play with fire. So Iger's kind of a hard ass. She's obviously really pissed off at us. And I'm letting all these play out to give you an idea of, did I already say this? To give you an idea of how long these conversations are, to explain why I'm cutting them down later. How many seconds passed between Monica's first convulsion of blood getting pulled? 4? 5? Do you know how much damage biofeedback can do to a decker's brain in 5 seconds? Look, this won't. You don't have to answer that, of course. You know, Monica died while you stood there and watched. This is all your fault. Then Amsel breaks in. That's enough. We need to talk action. Our client sent you into something much bigger than he led us to believe. I want to know why. Right there with you. This was supposed to be a milk run, says Dietrich. It's fair to assume that we're all still in danger. So she's concerned that because we found this big underground base, we're now onto something that people are going to be chasing us down for. We give Amsel some information. Feuerschwinger is the most important part. The fire wing. This is unexpected. You'll have to forgive me, this brings back many unpleasant memories. The fire wing, says Glory. The most terrible of the great dragons. You're far too young to remember her, of course, but the name Feuerschwinger is synonymous with death and chaos. Dragons of today are subtle, Firewing was not, dark days indeed, countless people died, roasted alive. It was a horror that you cannot begin to understand. So the long and the short of it is that then later magic came into the world, orcs and elves appeared, and everyone forgot about Firewing. It was called the Dragonfall, hence the name of the game. When they took the dragon down, it took a whole army practically. Yeah, and this is where I guess that's how come no one remembers. New species of awakened animals were being discovered daily. Within 2 years of the Dragonfall, the active use of magic had returned to the world. Dragons were just yesterday's news. Again, all this happened decades ago. Right, so Monica spent her dying breath trying to tell us about a long-dead dragon. Any ideas to why? The Dragonfall is ancient history, 42 years ago. I'd hardly call that ancient. So then we ask about the client. A basement, a middle-aged orc with skin grafts, and a long-forgotten world event, very thin. Doesn't really matter which of these you pick. Iger's going to be upset, as far as I can tell. And then it turns out that Monica took the job on her own, which is strange. Green Winters used to be a prominent activist. He didn't like the man, didn't trust him. And then he tells us to go and see a dude at the coffee shop who is his regular contact. Gain some karma, I guess, for winning the previous mission. I'm working on close combat and also willpower. 5 to spend, so I end up going with melee weapons. Do I? No, close combat. To unlock an additional weapon slot, which in retrospect was probably a mistake. But there we are. You meet the dog, who's kind of upset. Apparently he was howling from an hour ago when Monica died. And everyone's like, well, he must be your dog now, and he follows you around for a bit. Perhaps Monica lives on in Dante, or a part of him. And now I think we should all take a moment for Monica. So I kind of did. And I think you should too. Then I spoke to Dietrich, who didn't have much to say really. He wanted to share a drink. His aging face is traced with a network of faint scars. Take the bottle to Monica. Prost. None of the others seemed that appropriate. I kind of wanted to bond with him. And then he waxes lyrical about Monica for a while and asks some questions about you. I figure he just wants to know a bit about me to gain my trust. So I kind of let him in, told him a member of my old crew betrayed me, and it seems like you can basically build your own backstory here, which is nice. Told him that I killed him, ventilated the son of the bitch before I left the Rurplex. And he agrees with that, approves of, I see, betrayal always makes him see red. So I went with that. Clickety click. The bastard deserved no less. In your position, I'd have done the same thing. So what's the deal between the two of you? Don't leave me in suspense. He then wants to know what you guys were. You can say you were lovers, business associates, or friends. I said friends. He went, yep. Then I spoke to Glory. Now, she's messed up. She's mostly cybernetic. The cybernetics, well, rocking a heavy load of cyberware from head to toe, she looks to be composed more of metal than bone. Glory's cyberware is older than her. So then I used spellcasting conjuring to use astral perception to read Glory's aura. Then I distracted her. As your third eye opens the hidden world around you, you feel the familiar tingle of dormant senses awakening. There's a slight shimmer, her aura damaged though it may be. Somewhere within that mutilated aura, a shred of humanity awaits, but finding it isn't going to be easy. I continue reading her aura by telling her that it looks like kale. That it looks like kale she's got in her teeth. She gets a bit pissed off. There you go, you're playing with me. But then goes, have I really got it? And turns away. There we go, bird-like movement, thrusts a finger into her mouth and rubs her teeth vigorously. Did I get it? Which gives you time to read her aura. Finally, you catch a glimpse of colour, a flash of her true self, and behind it, something terrifying. An after-image of what you saw remains, twisting in your memory. All of this was surprising, but it was what you saw behind her aura that chilled you to the core. You can't say for sure what was holding the other end, but whatever it was enormous and ancient and cruel. You can't shake the feeling it stared back at you. I didn't want to push the issue because she seemed pretty closed away, so I asked her what we should do next. She said, you should get a decker. She just said, don't worry about me. And I was like, you look like you're a million miles away. Oh no, if you say you're good, I trust you. I kind of figured she needed her space. So I let it go. Then I went and spoke to Iger, who was just basically pissed off and told me to go away. Something I can do for you, fearless leader? We need to talk. Not right now, we don't. Don't push me on this, dollface. We'll talk about this one day, but not today. And then I went out to go and look for the coffee dude. I kind of had a run around the Bazaar. And there are loads of people that you can talk to. Not much of them have anything to say. You tell them about Monica's death. Tech vendor. They're mostly shopkeepers. So I can probably buy upgrades for deckers, but I don't have any deckers at the moment. Drones as well, which are interesting. I guess they're the equivalent of spirits for there's the Cafe Sesvi, which is where we've got to go to meet our contact. And I should have really gone straight there because, well, as you'll see, I have to run around all over the place. There's a guy there, David. He is a little street urchin. pair of round eyes peer up at you from under the hood of a grime-smeared winter coat. You recognise him as David, one of the Cruise Bazaar's street kids. So I broke the news kind of softly to him. It did amuse me that one of the options was there's blood everywhere. You couldn't get through that gate there. I kind of always explore the edges here before I get on with the main task at hand. Then headed over to the Talismonger's shop. And I didn't think they'd sell anything interesting, but in the end they did. There's this elf who, when I looked into her eyes, something about the elf behind your counter makes you catch your breath in your chair. She's lovely to look at. Hello and welcome to Algernon's. Perhaps I can help you with something. Her eyes fixed on yours, a curious feeling of weightlessness fills your chest. But I could look away because my willpower was high enough, so I did that and got a karma point for it, which was nice. Wait, what? What was that? What happened? Anyway, that was kind of that. She witted on for a bit more, but I didn't really learn anything useful. Then I spoke to the owner, who's cool, Algernon. So I ended up buying Stride from him, which I didn't notice the big red text that said required cheat casting for, because I'm a fool. And spent 1,000 credits on it, which wasn't the smartest thing in the world. Then carried on having a look around, met this dancer over here. Their dancer's bag. And threw 5 yen in there, but that's all I could do. Then she stopped interacting with me. Didn't go and have a look at the U-Bahn platform yet, but I'll show you what that looks like. There's another one up at the top by the safe house. No. Then went and spoke to this dude, who I think is the gun vendor. And I'm wondering if some of these guys I'm going to be able to talk to later on. You're looking for some magic, mein Freund? In a minute, mein Freund. If you got the cash, old Zach's got the flash. So he's made his own stim booster. He sells magic and stim boosters, but gets annoyed when you call him a mage, a street mage. Anyway, this guy sells weapons, but he won't talk to you about anything. He won't answer questions until you buy something, but I've spent all my money. So he's no use to me right now. There's a cyber clinic over there where I can buy new Bumono, whatever they are, basically life elixirs. He's skinny and emaciated, skin stretched too tightly over his frame, seems cheerful. He's convinced that elves have all this magic, and if he doesn't cast spells, he'll build up this huge magic power. Yeah. So I asked him about combat stims, and he had some kamikaze and some nitro, which I bought. I couldn't afford the flash, but it didn't seem like it was that useful. 2 movement and 2 AP for 1 round. I mean, it's okay. Actually, it would probably be really useful for my street thug lady, to give her better closing movement for the beginning of combat, but at 700 a pop, that's expensive. And with Stride bought, that gives me the effect all the time, which is much better. Even though I can't use it yet. Oh, how foolish. And then went and had a look around here, met this guy Simi, this woman Simi, who's a cyber deck addict. She's kind of locked in virtual reality. And her mind has lost a connection of what's real and what's not. The Mother Superior, she says she will be there for 7. There will be 7 for me to care for. Anyway, you tell her about Monica, and she sort of comes back to reality and then says, oh, I want this game to stop. So, I mean, the girl's just insane. Maybe she'll have more to say later. There's a statue over here that you can interact with. There are 3 notes from the creator. It was made from the... melded together from various metal scraps and pieces of junk. It's made from the ruins of Berlin, I think. Anyway, the ruins of something. That thing we're going to see in a minute. I was wondering what it was there. And there's a phone, which when you answer, the Shock Wellenreiter's contact for this Kies is no more. Dollface is listed as follow-up contact, which is weird. They want you to drop stuff off to them. I thought they might want the thing that we picked up in the last mission, the notes. But these guys, one of them runs a soup kitchen. I gave him 100 yen, and the other guy is just a helper with 2 prosthetic legs. But yeah, I thought they might want. That's the U-Bahn station. You can't really do much in there yet. I thought they might want the... I'll come back to it. In the coffee shop, there's this guy. He puts up with them insults from the owner because they amuse me. The fact that they amuse me infuriates my dear friend. Anyway, the coffee shop dude will only give us the info if we go and push 3 things around town. Here, there we go. The last one has something you can listen to. Most of it's encrypted, and there's heavy machinery drowning out most of the words. So you can see, just heard Monica, need to verify. And then you overhear a phone conversation saying the cruise bazaar was only stable because of her. If she's really out of the way, will it hold? I guess we'll find out. Anyway, take it back to him. He's like, okay, thanks dude, and gives you a memory stick to take to Amsel. So I take that back. Amsel tells us that Green Winters is at a hotel called the Dragonfall, but it's been taken over by a new gang recently. The agent refused to follow him in. Iger says, alright people, let's gear up. But yeah, I thought I'd be able to sell them that bit of information. Oh, she has a play for power as well. And I say the others are behind me already, you just didn't hear them. I now command a team of Shadowrunners. Travelling to new mission locations, you'll be able to choose which members of your team to bring and modify their loadout for the run. If they become permanently incapacitated, they return to the safe house. Now, here's the computer. Monica left an advice that said, stand up to Iger, hold your ground, don't try and flatter her, she won't respect it. Most of all, earn her respect. Don't give her a reason like Monica said so. Oh, and if you botch this, I'm coming to haunt you. I also put the notes that I got up for sale because the dude in the phone didn't want them. They just said they'd call me when I had stuff or needed to pick stuff up. So then it was time to assemble the team and head off to do the mission. So there on the right is the hotel. That's going to be part number 6. And there on the left is the previous episode number 4, in which we wrap up the first mission. Let me know what you think of the difference in this, if you prefer me to do after the event or before. But that said, as in live or edited, but with that said, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!